Yes.
I can
yes.
hear you. So I will import some mega scan of a rock or a cliff. So marriage project. I will find my assets browser. I have a bunch of mega scans. For example, rock, volcanic.
This could be good for Sean to look at this too, you know, for like extra. I can even put this on our YouTube I can put this on YouTube as for like an education video.
Cool. So I have this rock and it's pretty low poly. But before I add the realistic texture to it, I will use the asset of building. For example, I will open up my asset browser and type in building. And let's find, for example, this one. It doesn't have to be perfect. I will make this guy small. Bang. I will put this building in a cloner object. So MoGraph cloner. And cloner, what it basically does, it creates clones. I will tell the cloner to clone building on the object, and object is gonna be our cliff. And voila, we have buildings cloned on the rock object. So right now we have the problem because the buildings are facing randomly. So they're trying to face the same way the rock normals face. So we need to fix that. So up vector is gonna be Y, or let's say no. Let's hit no. Let's try creating the target node. For example, MoGraph target, and then everything will look in this direction. I will put this way up, even more. And right now, every building is facing upwards. This is what we want right now. And I will rotate this building so they're standing up, not laying down. I'm gonna need to put the building in the null object and then rotate the building on the perpendicular axis. And we want, that's it. So right now I can increase or decrease the building size. I can ramp up the poly count, let's say 150. We have a bunch of buildings. We can add a MoGraph random effector to randomize their scale. Cool. We can import other types of buildings. For example, this one. We can make them small. Whoops. We can put this building under the null object and in the cloner. We can rotate it same way. Minus 90 degrees. And now we have this thing, right? For example, let's say we're happy with the layout. I will fire up the Octane. Do you see the real-time preview? I will create the glossy material, put it on the rock surface, and I will import some textures. Texture, pink. Where's my assets? Assets. The diffuse color. I will duplicate this. Import the texture of a normal map, for example. Bang.
Wow.
And import the roughness map. Or displacement, let's say roughness. I don't like using displacement maps. And if we take a look, we have a kind of realistic rock with some buildings scattered on it, right? And now we can create lighting, HDRI environment, for example. I will add a lighting texture. So for example, E, F, where do I have the light textures? On the D drive. So textures, HDRI, for example, this forest. And look at it. It's realistic already. I will make the HDRI brighter. I will rotate the HDRI so I get some nice angle of the light. And to take it to a next level, I will enable the realistic global illumination things. So path tracing, now everything gets the bounced light. I may even double or triple the amount of buildings. I will try to double it. I hope the PC doesn't crash on me. I will make those buildings a little bit smaller. And here we have. And this is the basic setup. Now I can go ahead and distribute these buildings in one part or in the other part or however we like. And I can create nice subsurface scattering material to get the nice voxy looking buildings. So light shines through them. Does it make sense? More rough effector, plane effector, and I will make everything small. Oh my God, I fucked up.
Oh, that looks awesome.
That's it. The stupid building scattered on a piece of rock. And I can import another part of the rock and scatter these guys on another rock. So it's kind of procedural, not completely, but just like in Houdini, I can change the input and change the geometry that our buildings are scattered on.
It took maybe what, 20 minutes, you think? Less than that, huh?
Less than, I think it was 5 minutes, but that's it.
Imagine what could have happened in an hour. You probably could have done what they showed us. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. I'm gonna stop recording. It looks good. It looks good. I'm gonna actually, you know, we wanted to.
We can also random. See, now we have random rotations, just like in the reference. And I can create a camera that is very telephoto-ish or macro lens looking, like 200 millimeters, and look through it, go backwards and create some isometric look and add some depth of field, for example, if we're going for a macro look. Octane camera, thin lens, depth of field, aperture like 5, and pick the focal point, for example, this rock cliff. Bang. And now we're focused somewhere in here. And if I increase the aperture, for example, to 25, everything that is up front is gonna get blurry, and everything in the back as well. So I will need to create some focal point. And play with the focal point. That's it. Realistic rock with some buildings on it.
You really think that do you really think that I think adding some texture will do a big difference for our stuff, you know, for our that model?
I think because this thing I just showed you, this is a cool art direction thing, but will this thing work? I mean, will you be able to understand which building is lobby and which building is bank? This is some nice kind of macro look, but this doesn't look like a map. Okay, so I think that the layout we have will make the architectural alignment thing. If we create the right textures, everything will connect. Right now, our island doesn't connect to our interiors because one looks cartoonish and is white, and this is not our fault. Antonio had this idea, I think, that to make it white like Mykonos, and I think everything's gonna.
You remember that website I showed you? Remember that website I showed you with the world? The world's like it's like animated. It's kind of cartoonish, like it's like the world. Remember those? It's like a world, and then like on the world there's like little